Hello everybody, it's Lyric the Relic here, back with another video. Sorry for the videos being few and far between, just haven't had the motivation, but I'll be getting back to that soon. I'm in the process of moving, so hopefully within the next month I'll be back to weekly videos. No promises. I'm gonna try to get one out next week for the new movie, but again, no promises. But ignoring all that, we're going to look at Legacy Bulkhead. Now, here is the figure in its vehicle mode. I am not an expert with military vehicles, but I believe this is supposed to be some sort of military, like, troop transport vehicle. So, if anyone knows, like, the specific vehicle it actually is, go ahead and let me know in the comments. Taking a look at the front, you've got some nice translucent windows, some rivet detail. The side, some like grates, more windows, some vents, I'm guessing, spare tires. You've got, I think these are supposed to be exhaust tanks, and it's done in gray plastic, but if you look, there is silver paint, so I'm not sure why they didn't paint that. A tarp on the top, which they molded really well to look like it's actually a tarp. The top, a little trap door type thing. Other side's exactly the same. Bottom, like there's kibble, but it's not immediately obvious. And the back, just his feet, and you can see inside, but I don't actually mind that because if you open up the feet, his weapon is stored in there, but if it's not in there, it could absolutely look like a ramp, so stuff could get in or out of. So, vehicle mode does look very nice. Now, Bulkhead's 6 tires can rotate, so he can... I mean, he's not really doing it here, he's just sliding on my table, but on like a softer surface, you could get him to roll. One more thing I should note is you can take the tarp and completely remove it if you want, and then you can remove his weapons, but now it just looks incomplete. So, like, if you ignored this, it could vaguely look like some kind of military truck, but I'm not a fan of it, so I'm going to put this back on. And you just, you can kind of see better what I mean by it could look like a ramp, nothing in there. One thing, if you look, there is really nice graded detail. So, they really did do a good job with this figure. For size comparisons, here he is with the Studio Series 86 Starscream, the Jinbao, or Jinbao, I'm not really sure, oversized Warbitron Swindle, my previous review that was ages ago, the Legacy Motormaster, and the one who beat me every day that I didn't make a video. Moving on to transformation. Sorry for knocking the tripod. You don't have to do this, but I like to remove the tarp piece, and the easiest way is you just push your thumb on the trapdoor type piece, and it'll come right off. There's a tab right there and a peg right there. And how do I want to start this? First thing you'll do is you'll grab by the back tires and hold the cab and just split all that down. And I'll go ahead and do the legs. First you can split them, and then you'll open the foot and push it down. Take the gas tank, untab, straighten the leg, open this, and twist it, fold it down. That's the leg all done. Next you'll want to take this piece, it was like that for vehicle mode, you'll just fold it and it'll snap in, and then this black piece will fold and it'll lock that into place. Next, grab the front tires and the cab, and you'll kind of want to like push so that it all, like, the cab comes off, and pull the arms out. Next, bring the spare tires together and push them up through the gap, and this will just fold down. Now you can see the arms are tabbed together. You'll just want to not rip the wheel off. That is one thing. This figure, the front wheels don't like to stay on. You'll just split it, and then you can, it's easier if I show you. This black piece, we just want to push it all the way in, bring the head up as far as it'll go, and then just okay, you can see two tabs, or a tab right there, and a tab. The tabs that were connecting the arms together will plug into the sides, and that'll solidify the whole top piece. And then this this translucent tab will plug into these two notches. And just a word of caution, pretty much this entire cab is made of clear plastic. So I haven't seen any reports of breakage, and mine hasn't broken, but clear plastic, that is always a risk that can happen. Next up, you got a couple options. You can take his, well, actually, you can take his tarp, and it can either be a shield, or you can keep it where it was on the back. I'll keep it there for now, and I like to just fold it up. Well, you can do that, or you can leave it like that. I'll just do that for now. And then his little, we're getting into accessories a bit, but I don't really care. He got a nice little machine gun type thing. I'm going to get him out of the way so I can focus on it. And I think it's entirely translucent plastic, but they did paint it with some nice gunmetal gray. It's got some nice detailing. And there's two pegs on either side. Those are to plug into the vehicle mode for storage. He has a little handle, or you can take these tiny tabs and bringing them back in. There's tabs on either side of where the spare tires sit, and you can take it and plug it upside down, and now he's got a little shoulder cannon, and that doesn't look bad. But I'm going to take that off, and we're going to look at the molded detail for a minute. Taking a look at the molded detail, you can see he has a very nice head sculpt. This is supposed to be the Transformers Prime version of Bulkhead, and while he doesn't have the, for lack of a better term, fat guy robot proportions, they, instead of giving him a dad bod, gave him a fucking lad bod. If I knew what that meant, I would tell you. But he's got, his head sculpt looks like just like it did in the original Prime show, the same cab details. And the spare tires is a very nice detail, because in the original show there was like a tire here and here. So it's nice that they kept like small details, so you could still, other than just being the same color and head, you can tell it's still supposed to be Bulkhead. There's new vents. His arms have some nice vented type details. His thighs are very nicely sculpted. Got some new riveted detail, just like panels, as well as his lower leg. I would have liked if this was painted a silver for a bit more color breakup, but it's a mainline figure. I am expecting too much. His foot has nice detail even. And his back, I mean, these things have some nice molded detail. If you can see these, you can see it. There's some nice detail, but I don't look at my figures from the back, so I'm not going to ever notice that detail, and I just realized I never put this tire back on. Now, I already showed you his gun and shield, or tarp, but you can take the tarp and either use that same tab and plug it into the wheel or the forearm, or what I like to do, there's this black tab that you can fold out and plug it in to either one. I plug it onto the forearm, and now he's got like a little riot shield, It doesn't look the greatest because it limits his posability, but there is something you can do about it. I'll show you in a second. But if you can take his wrecking ball that he comes with, you open it up and you can see there's a tab in there. Now it's not centered. And that's because if you can put it into either hand, but if you're putting it in peg first, you'll have to put it on this hand. And that is not a bad look. But my preferred way is if you rotate it using his wrist swivel, you will notice there are 3 pegs on the wrecking ball. One there, and one there. And you can easily take that original peg, plug it in, and now he can properly pose the riot shield. So then you go ahead and give him his machine gun, Gatling gun, whatever you want to call it. And now you can get him into a nice pose. I'm not good at posing, but you can, in theory. One thing I just noticed, I don't know if you can see it, but the blue tabs are starting to stress a little, so that could be an issue later on. But for now, it's fine. Now we can get into the posability. I'm not stealing from Jobby. I'm probably going to be called a Jobby ripoff as enough already. He's got a ball joint at the head, so he can look up and down. And due to his chin, he can only really look that much to the side. And then he's got a hinge joint that lets him go out all the way. And then a full 360. Bicep swivel, more than a 90-degree bend. He's got fucking wrist swivel. Why don't more mainline figures have a wrist swivel? He's even got a waist swivel, and it's not really a waist swivel, it's like a mid-crotch. Like, his dick is just breaking every time he does anything. You can get his leg out to the side that much, and one thing you'll notice in there's a little divot, and that's because this piece sticks up, and that lets him go fully up. So that is a really nice detail that I love. It's got a little thigh swivel, and then forward that far, and back that far. What am I doing? I almost started singing. Slightly over 90 degrees of bend at the ankle, and then he has some forward and back at the ankle, and some pretty good pivot. I mean, it breaks the sculpt, but I don't care. It's a mainline figure with fucking wrist swivels, waist swivels, and ankle tilt. Hasbro really did good on this guy. For size comparisons, here he is once again with Starscream, his fellow military dude, Swindle, Motormaster, and Nemesis Prime. Overall, I do really like this guy. He's not my favorite figure ever, but he's an amazing mainline. If you could only get one Voyager class figure, I mean, I don't have enough Voyager class figures to say that, but this guy and Dragstrip, as well as Motormaster, were all steps in the right direction. I'd even say the same for Starscream, but he's not in the Legacy line, so we're ignoring him. But, yeah. Sorry again for not posting in a while. I'll try to get one out next week, but I don't know if I'll be able to. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this obligatory penis joke. I have a big dick. See you in the next one. Bye. Hey, did you guys know a new Transformers movie's coming out?